Last time on the WizardCast.
Hey, Brian, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm making gravy.
Oh, okay. What type of gravy?
Plot gravy. It's a vital part of the start of every WizardCast. Besides, this one is very important.
Why is that?
Because I'm making it for a contest, and if I don't win the contest, then one WizardCast listener will die.
Whoa. That's really dramatic.
Okay, that looks right.
What? Whoa, looks what?
The plot just thickened.
And now the conclusion of the WizardCast.
I'm Brian Kwong.
And I'm Mark Ross.
We're Salesforce experts that love talking about technology and Salesforce.
We also love humor. Doesn't mean we're actually good at it.
In the Salesforce community, I'm known as the Salesforce Wizard, likely due to me wearing a wizard hat at Salesforce events.
And I'm known as Salesforce Yoda for pretty much the same reason.
You should see the ears.
We have a passion to help educate and entertain people.
So we've joined forces to create WizardCast.
We've got tips and best practices.
We talk with interesting people.
All mixed with quote-unquote jokes and humor.
Welcome to the WizardCast. What do clouds wear under their shorts?
I don't know, Brian. What do clouds wear since they apparently are wearing shorts, which I wasn't aware that clouds do?
Thunderwear.
Okay. Well, I'm glad they're wearing something. Otherwise, they would be naked and
up in the sky, you can just
dangling
look
over
right
us.
up. Yeah.
Yep. But I mean, that sounds more like some extreme sportswear or something.
Thunderwear.
Thunderwear.
You know, if we were still doing fake sponsors, that would actually be a really good fake sponsor. WizardCast is brought to you by...
No.
Okay. Anyways, thanks, Carrie Anderson, for the joke. You can also submit jokes to us. Just tweet it at us at WizardCast_pod or email wizardcast@thewizardnews.com. So, Mark?
So, Brian?
You know, I thought we would just talk about these things, but they're beginning to happen a little more often.
What things?
Salesforce is buying another company.
Again?
So, I'd like to introduce our new segment called...
Say what's that name again?
It's called...
Okay, that's kind of a weird name. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Is it like...
No, Mark, it's...
Oh,
clearly, you might have an accent problem.
It's the accent. Yeah, exactly. The accent's not right. I mean, I'll have to practice.
You being in Kansas, me being up here in Wisconsin. Yeah.
I'll get it worked out. But in the meantime, we've got a new acquisition that is happening from Salesforce. They have signed a definitive agreement to acquire MuleSoft.
MuleSoft?
MuleSoft.
Why would they want to buy a soft serve ice cream for mules?
Okay, that's a reach even for us.
What's a reach? The ice cream?
Okay. No. The company is called MuleSoft. And MuleSoft...
they make software for mules.
No.
They're a Democrat-only software company.
Those are donkeys. Have you ever used DataLoader.io?
They're a sterile Democrat software company. Because mules are donkeys that have been bred, but they're sterile.
I didn't know that. And no.
Okay, so what's MuleSoft, Mark?
Have you ever used DataLoader.io?
No.
Seriously?
No.
That was a question I asked, like, fully expecting you would say yes. Like, that was not like a...
I've heard of DataLoader.io, but I've usually used the Apex Data Loader or CM Fusion's demand tools. And if you're listening, you want to sponsor, you know who to contact, guys.
So, yeah, DataLoader.io is basically a web-based data loader. It's pretty cool. Was pretty cool until they decided to put a monthly cap on the number of records you can process with it. 10,000.
Oh, okay. That's still pretty decent. Oh, well, that's monthly, you said.
Monthly. Yeah. But it's pretty cool. And as a service, it does offer some other things like being able to have a regular process. You can schedule picking up from an SFTP on a regular basis, like daily or hourly. So that's pretty cool. or DataLoader.io does that, but that's only one small thing that DataLoader.io
Mark,
does. What?
MuleSoft has a flow designer.
Yeah. I don't think it's the same though.
But now we're going to have two flows within the Salesforce ecosystem. It's going to be confusing.
It's not the same. This one is for integrations. And really, this is what MuleSoft's strongest point is functioning as a middleware.
An ETL.
Yes, and what does ETL stand for?
I have no idea. Enterprise Tool Lexicon.
No.
ET language.
That would be funny, but
extract, transform, and load.
Yes, that is what it stands
Thank
for.
you,
Actually,
Google.
that was sounds wrong, but it actually is right. Because it's a tool designed to move data from one system to another. So it's basically also known as a middleware, where you can have it standing in the middle between two systems. Yeah. So let's say Salesforce and SAP. And if an update happened to data in SAP, it would transfer to Salesforce or vice versa or both. And the ETL part of it will let you actually transform the data on the way. So you could, alter the data, add, remove characters, substitute things in, concatenate, yada, 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 yada.
It's one of those things that kind of surprised me. And didn't surprise me that Salesforce is buying an ETL company.
Oh, it didn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, right. From the idea that everything's becoming more enterprise and enterprise connected, it doesn't surprise me. But it's a very crowded field. There's lots of ETL companies out there. MuleSoft is definitely not the only one. It's not even the biggest one. I'm not even sure it's the newest one.
It's not, but it has a lot of footprint in the Salesforce ecosystem and a lot of footprint outside the Salesforce ecosystem.
True.
And MuleSoft has a lot of functionality that just completely non-Salesforce.
Still, paying $6.5 billion for an ETL company, that seems like a lot considering how many else are out there. But then again, I'm not a financial person. And,
so here's the thing. Here's what I've been seeing and hearing out all the chatter that's going on about this, no pun intended. So for one, DataLoader.io might become the next Apex data loader for starters, right? That's a small thing though. That's not really
no software
worth the money. Yeah, well, I don't know. But no, the main thing is that this then puts them in a position to knock SAP down a peg. Because SAP has an integration suite already called HANA, H-A-N-A. And it is a defining thing for them to be able to say, yes, we have integration platform that seamlessly integrates, designed to work with us. It's designed for us. And this is being talked about by a lot of investors as an attack on SAP, this purchase, because it will essentially knock off one of the main things that competitors, that SAP has been able to sell as a reason to not get Salesforce. This now being able to say, yes, we can do an integration as a seamless part of our system and maybe not even charge you all that much for it. Who knows what they're going to actually do. They'll probably charge something.
I'm sure they'll charge something.
But it'd be cheaper than Lightning Connect, I should hope. Just 5 figures per connection.
Crazy.
And so that's the thing. They're hoping that they're going to pull away some of SAP's major customers, like Coca-Cola America. Salesforce has Coca-Cola Europe. They do not have Coca-Cola America.
I did not know that.
And SAP does. So, Unilever is another major one.
Explains why the Coke in the U.S. tastes a little sappy. I would say the other thing about them buying an ETL tool like MuleSoft is from the AI perspective, right? Because the artificial intelligent engines are machine learning. So the more data you can throw at it, the better. So if you're able to connect to multiple sources of data and throw more data through your machine learning algorithm, the more types of predictions and assistance and artificial intelligence-y stuff you're able to do.
Exactly. And, Salesforce can theoretically do now an offering, if they wanted to, where they could have an ETL plus machine learning offering for people who don't use CRM. And that in and of itself could be seen as a gateway drug to get them onto machine learning and then a gateway into Salesforce from there. So one of Salesforce's prime strategies that has worked so well for them is the idea of stickiness. Find something that Salesforce can do and then have a hard time pulling them out and add other features to encourage them to be able to not be able to pull off of Salesforce and go to a competitor very easily. This gives them more stickiness. And that's what's brought them a lot of success.
Yeah, because everyone knows even small companies have data hosted in multiple different places.
Yeah, that's the reality now. It didn't used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But 2017, yeah, it definitely happens.
And talking about hosting, if you're looking for a great podcast hosting service, consider Libsyn.
Wow.
You could get a free month when you use the promo code PODMAGIC, P-O-D MAGIC. Libsyn is what we use here at the WizardCast, and we love how easy it is to send the WizardCast everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify.
All right, that's enough, Brian. That's enough.
Overcast, Twitter, WordPress, the Libsyn directory.
No, can we move on now?
Pocket Cast.
You done selling your soul? Are we done?
You've been hearing us talking about this for episodes, and now it's finally here.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Parker Harris.
No way.
I'm totally messing with you. Actually, this is a segment we call LIGHTBULB.
I hate you, Mark.
And also trolling the listeners and Brian because we don't have Parker Harris today. Sorry.
So yes, in this segment, we scour the whole internet, looking for ideas on how to improve Salesforce. We search every nook and every cranny. From the furthest reaches of Reddit to the dark web, we find them.
Which is actually a complete and utter lie because we just asked people for their ideas. And that's pretty much it. Done.
Like ideas from Amber Boaz, who has a quest.
Amber Boaz?
Her quest is for world peace.
What is her favorite color?
She says still blue. I'm not sure what is still blue as a color. I'm familiar with blue, just not still blue.
She submitted some previously, and she said blue, and it's apparently still blue.
The answer only makes sense if you do both of them in a row, but which we're not doing. So Amber's idea was she wants to have a roll-up summary type to be able to calculate averages. Because right now, if you want to do what is the average sale? So the average dollar amount across all your opportunities, you need 3 fields: a roll-up summary to get the total opportunity amount, a roll-up summary to get the total number of opportunities, and then a formula to divide the two.
Well, and here's the thing, Brian. I think since Amber submitted this idea, it's actually been merged into another one. So it was Amber's previously, but it's now there's another link.
Well, we don't care who
get
submitted the idea. We care what the idea is.
This one has over 2,000 points now, so this one might actually get a result sometime soon. But yes, this is one that I'm sure has rankled quite a few people.
And I think it's got to be possible because I think you can do an aggregate result in Apex to get the average.
It's not about Apex. It's about the way the query language works and about how the database
you're doing a SOQL,
organizes its data.
You're doing a SOQL aggregate query.
It might not be as optimized. This is the thing about database. Databases work in mysterious ways, and they're not just it's not just as simple as writing a query. It has to be written in the back end in such a way where it's not going to take ages to run because cloud environments.
So if you think this is an interesting idea, you will want to go to the IdeaExchange and vote it up and add comments and let them know why it's important to you. And for this and all the ideas we talk about today, we will be putting the links in the show notes.
Our next item is another one that rankles.
Rankles?
Quite a bit. Rankles.
Rankles.
Rankles. Are you not familiar with the word rankles?
No. It sounds like a terrible after-school snack. Try Rankles.
They're extreme.
Potato flavor?
They're so extreme, the E's in the word extreme also stand for the word extreme. Okay, so no. This next one was submitted to us by at SimplySFDC. Who is? Oh, by Yohan Yu. He's a pretty cool guy. And he has submitted an idea that, frankly, would be really neat, and that is to have a recycle bin in Lightning. For the love of God.
No,
that's not what he says in the idea. I added that.
You don't need it in Lightning. Just go to Classic. Salesforce doesn't mind if you switch to Classic.
No.
You only have to do it once every 15 days. Here's
the reality of the situation. Look, Salesforce is on this huge mission. We all know because we've been hit by
lightning. Switch to lightning.
Put a modal up. Lightning. And yeah, that's their prerogative as a business. They're trying to not support two code bases. I get it. It makes sense. This is how you get people to change, is by taking care of the things that we don't have to go back to Classic to do. No. One that's related to this, I'm sure there's an idea for this probably. One that's related to this is the idea of deleted fields. If you delete a field and then you make another field that has the exact same API name in Lightning right away, it won't let you do it because the field still exists. It just exists as a deleted field, which you can't see unless you go back to Classic and then permanently erase it out of Classic, and then you can switch back. That's all you got to do. Just have it. I'm turning into Lewis Black. You just need to have a thing so we can see the deleted fields and Lightning.
Okay. Personally,
I'm upset about this.
I can count on one hand the number of times I needed to go to the recycling bin. And I've never had to erase a field because when I make a field, it's right the first time.
Yeah, for the listeners, since this is an audio format, this is me glaring at Brian for being a pompous twit.
I thought we weren't going to have any more awkward pauses in the podcast, Mark.
Pick up the next idea, Brian.
So the next one is all about top-down tab key order in Lightning Experience. And that was submitted to us by Sarah Pilzer.
So no, stop, pause. What is it that doesn't exist? Because we do have tabbing, so they want to be able to go. Because we could choose before. Is that what they're asking for? To be able to choose?
If the page layout is configured to allow users to move through fields in the top-down order,
it just doesn't.
It doesn't respect it. So, like if you go into a Lightning record right now and you hit the tab key, it goes left to right, left to right, left to right. It doesn't go up, down, even.
It doesn't go down, down. Then next
even if
down,
the page
down,
layout
down.
says that's what you should be doing.
And this is over 2,000. There is a comment from a year ago saying on the roadmap. So keep voting. The more votes that these ideas get, the more incentivized frankly, the product managers are.
And I will say this, and I'm going to go kind of back to the recycle bin a little bit, but it's coming. If Salesforce has published their roadmap for Lightning Experience, it doesn't go out like forever. It shows basically the next 2 releases and then a column for the future. But it's on that. So you can see everything that Salesforce is planning on developing for the most part and when they're thinking it's going to come out there, with a handful of exceptions where they've pretty much explicitly said, no, we're not going to develop that.
And we're poking fun a bit with the whole recycle bin thing, but the idea for the recycle bin has 15,000 points on it right now. That's over 1,500 votes for this item. So clearly it's desperately wanted by a lot of people.
Unfortunately, that's one of the ones that's flagged for the future. So we're talking sometime after summer 18.
Right.
Safe harbor.
Safe harbor. The last one we have is from Jen Bowen, whose quest is being able to assign a single task to multiple users.
You know what multiple users sounds like to me? A queue.
That is. And that just so happens to be her idea.
Fancy
her
that.
idea is called Allow Tasks to be Assigned to a Queue. This one has 35,000 points on it.
And what's the status?
The status is in development.
Ooh, that's promising.
So that's promising. Essentially, a queue, if you don't know, in Salesforce is an actual
supreme being
type of
that
object.
has ultimate control and omnipotence and often ruins Picard.
This is not Star Trek. I wish it was, but it's not. This is a QUEUE.
Oh, like a British line.
Except in this case, it means a group of users. You can have multiple queues. You can have multiple queues for multiple reasons. And so it's basically just a group of users, and then you can call those in certain places, like in approvals or in assigning cases via case assignment rules, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And right now, tasks can only be assigned to a single user.
So create a user called Queue.
I would like to be able to assign it to a queue. Yes. Wait. No. That's not. This is so that multiple people can potentially solve a task instead of just one person. I'm glad. I am super, super glad that this is in development. And I have suspicions. We got some information a few months back, and that was that Salesforce was in the process of working to get off of the Oracle database entirely.
Say what?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Salesforce, for the past little while, we don't know how long exactly, but they have been actively doing this. They are working to completely get off their old database style. Their old database style was based on Oracle, and granted, it's been altered so it's proprietary, but it was still heavily Oracle-based. And they have been working for some time now to get off of that. My suspicion is that one of the major reasons they wanted to get off of it is because being on it was preventing certain types of data structures and operations. Things like being able to do more advanced things with activities.
Because everyone knows activities are a special child.
I get so frustrated by activities. Like running full speed, talking to a client saying, oh, yes, this is totally possible. Yes, we'll do it. Running full speed up against the wall. Mm-hmm. One in particular I hit was, you can't do any sort of long text field, custom long text field in tasks or events.
Well, sure, we can pull down through a formula to show that related field that the task is on.
No. So there are so many things that work in every other object in Salesforce that don't work in tasks and events. And my suspicion is that because here's the thing. If you look in most Salesforce instances, mm-hmm. my guess is that if you were to do a record count of every single type of record, every single object, that activities would be the highest in probably 90%
of the number
of
of records.
The number of records.
I believe that.
Because we've had things like workflow rules. The only thing we could create from workflow rule for years and years was a task, right? And tasks are heavily used throughout Salesforce
it's
in
a
a number
to-do
of
list.
ways.
Yeah,
exactly. They are just one of the key critical aspects, and so many of them are made. So there are a lot of restrictions that are placed upon them so that those tables can run with any amount of speed. It's also the reason why tables, the tasks will auto-archive after a year unless you turn that off, because the reports and loading up the system, displaying a page that shows that activity list on it, it has to be able to do that. It would take a lot longer if they didn't have these things like blocking custom long text fields. And so my guess is that what they're going to do is rewrite their database structure so that it's more optimized to be able to treat it like a true class 1 object instead of kind of a class 1 object. That's just my guess. Right?
Mark, I've been sensing a theme across all these ideas that we've been saying from our listeners.
What is that?
With the exception of Johan, everyone's favorite color is blue.
I thought you were going to say something actually insightful and relevant, and I don't know why I expected that. That's on me, actually.
I think Johan kind of cheated because he said his favorite color is rainbow, and rainbow's not really a color. So we're just going to say his favorite color is blue, and therefore everyone's favorite color is blue. That was another awkward pause, Mark. You don't want any more of those in the podcast.
I think I think we're good.
I'm not really good because Johan said.
No, I think we're
didn't
done.
know who Monty Python is.
I think we're done with the episode, Brian. 'Cause I need to go lie down.
You feeling okay?
My head hurts.
You should really take something for that.
Like what?
Some wrinkles?
Rankles! They're so extreme that the E's in extreme also stand for the word extreme.
Now for migraine sufferers, WizardCast is brought to you by Rankles.
No, the actual outro.
WizardCast is produced by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, directed by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, technical administration by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, script editing by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, audio editing by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, website maintenance by Brian Kwong and Mark Ross, and our intern this episode was Mike Welch.
Let me guess, another Twitter follower as an intern?
You bet. And you can actually follow us on Twitter with WizardCast_pod.
Send us your interview suggestions, jokes, videos, tips, and feedback to wizardcast@thewizardnews.com or head over to thewizardnews.com and click Contact WizardCast.
And we want to hear from you. Even though Mark lied and that Parker Harris wasn't on this episode, he may be one day. So what question do you want to ask him?
Submit a question by going to bit.ly/ParkerQuestions and fill out our short form.
So did we miss an idea? Are you sad that your idea is not on here? We are going to be continually doing these idea highlights, so you should go and let us know what idea you want us to talk about.
That's bit.ly/idea highlight to submit an idea to us.
Don't forget to subscribe to the WizardCast and receive our next episode automagically.
Please post reviews on Apple Podcasts, aka iTunes, to share this episode so that other people have to endure what you just had to listen to.
Once again, I'm Brian.
And I'm wearing thunderwear.
Better than nothing. Thanks for listening. So, Mark, if you're wearing thunderwear, does it rain down there?
It rankles.
Does it, is it shocking down there?
You'll have to ask my wife.
Is it loud down there?
I have nothing for that. I'm cutting. None of this is going in. You're asking about my crotch. None of this is going in.
If you're wearing thunderwear, does that mean your dog is scared down there? Oh, I couldn't even do that one straight.
I don't have a dog.